Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, TV some more Call of Duty World War II. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Operation Shamrock Awe is the biggest update in the history of Call of Duty World War II, and here in this video, I'm going to attempt to summarize all of the things that were changed and added with this patch, though chances are I'm going to miss a few things, and a few things are going to slip through the cracks, because there is so much to discuss. We have big changes, like what they did with the chrome camouflage, and we have small changes, like them taking all the menus and adding color to them. There's a lot to discuss here today, so hopefully you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's start things off here by taking a look at the changes that Sledgehammer Games made to supply drops and the overall loot system. As with all events, they add a bunch of new cosmetic items to supply drops today, but this time around, we also have weapon camos, event-specific weapon camos, and weapon charms, in addition to new weapon variants, calling cards, emblems, and so on and so forth. I covered all of the new supply drop changes in yesterday's video, but in short, just to kind of remind you guys, after today's update, they made it so from now on, when you open a supply drop, you'll get a lot less duplicates than before. You're going to have much more variety in every single drop, which means you're not going to get 3 calling cards or 3 pistol grips or anything like that. And they've ensured that they want to add more content to supply drops that fans actually want, as compared to just filling them with more filler garbage, right? So they got rid of the gold bordered calling cards, and they're not adding any more pistol grips, but rather they're going to start adding camos and weapon charms and stuff like that, which is stuff that people actually care about as compared to the other things. I had about 50 supply drops saved up going into this event, and after opening all of them, I can conclusively say that overall, the quality of these supply drops has increased significantly, though as a byproduct of me getting less duplicates, it's now much harder to obtain armory credits via supply drops, because again, you're getting a lot less duplicates than before, which is good and bad. So it's good you're getting more content, but it's bad because now it's a lot harder to actually save up your credits to buy weapons from the Quartermaster. Speaking of the Quartermaster, we have 2 brand new guns that were added today. We have the MG81 light machine gun, which is going to cost you 18,025 credits to obtain, and we also have the M38 submachine gun, which is going to cost you 21,575 credits. These special orders, as we knew them, still appear to be gone, but if you check out the contracts at the Quartermaster, you're going to see that we now have a new way to obtain the new weapons, and in my opinion, this way is much better than before. So here we have a contract to do 15 measly submachine gun headshots in exchange for the Sten submachine gun, and it looks like this contract is going to rotate every day, and if it does, that's definitely going to make it much easier to obtain the weapons as compared to previously. So before, we'd have to go talk to Major Howard and complete 50 multiplayer matches for a brand new gun. Well, now we just have to go do 15 headshots, which is basically nothing. It takes like 10 or 15 minutes to do that if you're really going for it. So I feel as though this is an awesome change to Call of Duty World War II, and I'm very happy about it. But the downside, I suppose, is they also changed up the other contracts. So you guys are going to notice the contracts are like 4 or 5 times as expensive as they were previously, and instead of giving you a rare supply drop, a lot of them give you a regular supply drop. This is actually a byproduct of the new loot system that they have here in Call of Duty World War II. So supply drops themselves, even regular ones, have a much higher value than they did previously, because you're pretty much guaranteed to get a lot better loot than you were previously. And so as a result of the increase in value of supply drops, they have increased the cost of the contracts themselves to actually obtain the supply drops. I would say this is the only somewhat bad change they've made so far today, but by and large, I'm actually very happy with the loot system and the supply drop changes as a whole. I'd love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below, because in my opinion, the overall quality of supply drops has increased, and I think that's a good thing for pretty much everybody involved. Moving over to Major Howard here, we have some new orders that are available, and we also have a new weekly order to get 100 suppressed submachine gun kills in exchange for a new Thompson variant. It's not clear if this is actually going to be rotating in and out each day or not, because it doesn't seem like it takes you an entire week to get 100 suppressed kills, but regardless, it appears we're going to have a new order system to give us variants, which I think is actually pretty good overall, and we also have a new epic uniform drop that can be purchased with armory credits, which is pretty cool as well. We can now do stuff with our armory credits besides just buy things from the Quartermaster. We can actually buy supply drops and bribes with our credits. It's good to have choice for the consumer. I'm very happy about these changes. Let's go ahead and move away from the headquarters here for a moment and discuss some other things that were actually changed today. So one big change that has a lot of people talking right now is the nerf they gave the Volks. We all knew it was coming. In my opinion, I made a whole video on this. The Volks was the best best gun in Call of Duty World War II. Just hands down, by far the easiest gun to use in the entire game. And today, they nerfed its damage range, and they gave it more recoil, which will hopefully bring it back in line with the other rifles in the game. Though as you guys can see here, I'm not really struggling that much with it. It's still a very good gun overall. It's not like RIP Volks like people are saying. It's just a little bit worse than it was previously, which is a good thing because it was wildly out of balance in my opinion before. Unfortunately, that pretty much does it for all the balancing changes that were made today, though I imagine more weapon balance changes and score streak tuning are going to be added in a future patch. If you caught my video previously, then you know another update that came today would be an update to the Chrome Camouflage, the secret final camo that you get for unlocking all the challenges for every single gun in the game. It now looks a lot better than it did previously, though it's still not as bright and vibrant and wonderful as Dark Matter was back in Black Ops 3, but regardless, it's better than it was before, and I'm very happy about those changes. And of course, we also have Shipment 1944, which is a free multiplayer map that is currently only available to Season Pass holders, though it will be made free for everybody on Friday, March 16th, and Sledgehammer Games has confirmed on Twitter that Shipment 1944 is not going away after the Shamrock Awe event, which means it's going to be the second free DLC map to be added to the standard rotation after, of course, Winter Quarantine. It looks like they're finally starting to make up for launching the game with only 9 multiplayer maps, and I've got to say, between Shipment 1944, Winter Quarantine, and of course all the DLC 1 maps, Call of Duty World War II's multiplayer feels seriously revitalized because we're no longer playing the same maps over and over and over. I can't help but feel like this is how the game should have felt like at launch, but regardless, better late than never, it's feeling a lot better right now, and I'd love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. In addition to Shipment 1944 having its own playlist, they also added a new playlist called Leprechaun Hunt Mosh Pit to the game, which if you guys haven't tried this out, seriously, you have to give this a try. It's freaking ridiculous. So basically, it's a normal mosh pit. It's got like team deathmatch and hardpoint and kill confirmed and stuff like that on a couple of different maps, but the twist here is there's a leprechaun that will randomly spawn at different points in the match, and he's going to start running around and giggling. If you shoot the leprechaun and you're the person that actually kills him, he will instantly give you all of your kill streaks, which is freaking ridiculous. So you're going to find while playing in this game mode that pretty much everybody is running the really high streaks, hoping they can actually take out the leprechaun. He does spawn in several times a match, though keep in mind he only spawns while playing in the Leprechaun Hunt Mosh Pit playlist. He doesn't spawn in on Shipment 1944 or in regular team deathmatch or anywhere else like that. So again, I highly recommend check out that game mode, try out that playlist. It's a lot of fun. It's freaking goofy and ridiculous, and that's the whole point. It's Shamrock Awe. There's a leprechaun running around. Definitely go ahead and give that a shot. Going back to the headquarters here for a moment, I know we talked about that to death already, but I want to discuss a couple of other things, because while we're running around hunting leprechauns or maybe checking out the World War II version of Shipment, no longer do we have to back out of those lobbies to go grab a new order or a contract from the headquarters. We can now access all of that stuff from the lobby itself, which is a fantastic change. And I talked about it earlier, so I want to briefly mention it here. We have color now in the menus. I think this is actually a very small change that's going to go a long way into making Call of Duty World War II feel like a much better game, because when you're playing the game previously, the menus were all either brown or gray or black, maybe a little bit of white thrown in there, like earth tones. It was kind of gross to look at, and after a while, it got very boring. Well, now we have color in the menus, which is a small change, but I think it's going to go a long way into making Call of Duty World War II feel like a much better game. Unfortunately, that pretty much does it for all the multiplayer changes, and now we're going to check out some zombie changes that were made today. So the user interface for zombies has been improved, so when you're going through your classes or you're setting up camos on weapons, or if you're trying to set up weapons in general, it all works a lot better now than it did previously. It's not nearly as buggy, and they've also updated the quote-unquote red screen of death. So you guys know, when you get hit by zombies many times in a row, your screen basically goes all red. You get covered in, we always called it Kool-Aid back in the day, but basically your entire screen is red. You can't see anything. It's no longer like that. As you guys can tell from the gameplay, I can see quite well, even though I am on death's door right now, so that's actually a very good change in my opinion. And they also made it so you will no longer lose armor points by taking fall damage, which is also a pretty good change. But ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much does it for all the updates and changes that happened to Call of Duty World War II today. I believe I read something about zombies Easter eggs, like 4-leaf clovers popping up on zombies maps, and maybe you can get new camos that way as well. There's lots of extra things in there, but I'm going to leave that to the zombies YouTubers. I like to stay in my own little bubble over here in multiplayer, but by and large, that's pretty much every major update that happened to Call of Duty World War II today. I feel as though it was a pretty awesome update. Honestly, if every single event could be as good as Operation Shamrock Awe, then we have a very bright future ahead of us for Call of Duty World War II. So hats off to Aaron Halan, hats off to the entire team at Sledgehammer Games. I'm so happy to see pretty much the entire community happy about an update, right? Because normally whenever they do a patch for this game or do an event or something, people are upset for one reason or another, but basically everybody seems happy with this event based on what I've seen in the comments of my videos and on Reddit and on Twitter. Everybody seems pleased with Operation Shamrock Awe so far, so hopefully they can continue that success throughout the coming weeks, throughout the remainder of the event, then leading into the new event, which, believe it or not, there's going to be another event after this in April for DLC 2. So hopefully that'll be just as good. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.